Lucy was pretty insufferable Season 2, Episode 2, but does that mean that the ghoul deserves a pass? Welcome to Lindsay's Fallout. I'm your host, Lindsay. Spoilers. Disclaimer. Pause if you want to read the details. Let's just get into it. I made a video ripping Lucy a new one for her privileged, entitled, holier-than-thou behavior in this season so far, but then something terrible happened. Everyone agreed with me. What? We cannot have that. This is the internet. Where are the arguments that my nervous system is accustomed to? Well, guess I'm just gonna have to argue with myself then. So today we're gonna play devil's advocate. Not in defense of Lucy, oh no. Today we're throwing the ghoul into the gulag. So far, we've been operating under the idea that because the ghoul is over 200 years old, and Lucy is a 20-year-old vault dweller with no Wasteland experience, that she ought to be treating him with more respect. But that overlooks a paramount difference between the two of them. He's the adult and she is a child. Yes, it takes a lot of years to get his kind of wisdom, but it also takes a lot of years to develop the maturity to appreciate wisdom. Okay, if you're 20, think about how much more wisdom a 70-year-old has over you. That's only a difference of 50 years. Meanwhile, if you do the math, Cooper Howard is about 270 years old. 250 more years on the planet than Lucy. Give or take a few years on both sides, but come on, don't get buried in the minutia. He knows damn well what the Wasteland is like, and he knows damn well that she has no idea. And he knew that when he invited her, he chose for her to go with him. There is a responsibility in that. In the last video, I touched on how there are plenty of reasons why he wouldn't trust her to understand if he fully explained the reasoning behind the gross, shitty ghoul things that he does. But if he didn't trust her enough to explain those things, then he shouldn't have invited her to go with him. Looking at that age difference, he essentially adopted her. He is responsible for her to an extent, which is why he followed her into the rad scorpion nest to begin with. I mean, think about it. Would it really be fair, after watching him slit the throat of a wounded, defenseless guy and then eat him and then use his girlfriend as a human shield, to expect Lucy to just give him the benefit of the doubt? He's old, he knows what he's doing. It's naive of Lucy to expect that she knows better than he does, but it's full-on dense of the ghoul to not anticipate that naivete. If you have a child, or if you've ever watched anybody raise a child, then you know you don't help a child become an adult by just announcing and pretending that they're an adult. There's a process. Children need support, they need to be guided through things. You don't just toss them into the water and go swim, bitch. And if anyone out there is tempted to comment, Lucy's over 18. Lucy's an adult. I'm gonna need you to wash the cultural indoctrination out of your ears. Think critically for a moment. Do you really believe that after the moment a human being is born, once the Earth makes a full rotation around the sun 18 times exactly, that God waves a magic wand and declares that this human being now has the exact amount of wisdom, experience, and resilience to make informed, responsible decisions? No, adulthood is relative, and a person with 20-something years of life and less than 1 year of experience in their environment, then in comparison to a 200-something-year-old who has spent the bulk of that time in that environment, they are a child. If you're a veteran Fallout player, put yourself in the ghoul's shoes. Imagine you're standing outside that building, you fully expect that the voice calling for help is a trap, but Lucy wants to go in there. What's one of the first things that you would do? You would check to see how many stim packs you have, wouldn't you? This was the moment for the ghoul to be the adult. He should have said, "Listen up, darling. It's a beautiful thing that you want to help people, but you ain't in the vault no more. You don't got resources on tap, and let me tell you, when you're down to one stim pack, that ain't the time to be the hero. So if we're going in there, first and foremost, I'm gonna do what it takes to keep the two of us alive. And if we're a team, I expect you to do the same. Do we have an understanding?" An idea that floats around a lot in the trauma healing community is you can't pour out of an empty cup. So many of us are nervous wrecks because we're conditioned to believe that we should help people based on how much they need help, not based on our own capacity to provide that help. So we end up getting tapped far beyond our capacity. Whether you're in the Wasteland or you're in the real world, you must practice discernment over whether you're in a position to help or not. The internet bombards us with information about suffering all over the world that we are in no position to do a goddamn thing about every day. If you don't learn to walk on by and forgive yourself for it, you'll drive yourself insane, or walk directly into pointless harm. The root of Lucy's arrogance is the belief that Vault-Tec ideas are what has made her so nice and civil. But no, it was Vault-Tec resources. Resources that she now does not have. And she's about to learn firsthand how uncivilized even the nicest person can become when resources are limited. I think one of the reasons my initial reaction was to be mad at Lucy and give the ghoul a pass is because Lucy betrayed what she claimed to stand for, and the ghoul never claimed to stand for a goddamn thing. Her Vault-Tec upbringing wasn't wrong when it taught her that human beings beings thrive with community and cooperation. But the foundation of community and cooperation is connection and trust. And betraying the ghoul multiple times does not foster connection and trust. She's judging whether or not people deserve connection and trust by whether or not they conduct themselves up to her standards. And that's the mentality of a Fallout villain. If you want the gentry's resources, you must please the gentry. If you want to live on Mr. House's strip, you must wear the costume that Mr. House provides for you. If Lucy's help is contingent on whether or not somebody follows the code of conduct that she was indoctrinated with, she's not a good person, she's an obedient person. The ghoul doesn't want to deny help to the Legion because he disapproves. He wasn't punishing the guy for his wrongdoing. He was neutralizing a threat. Is it possible that that Legion guy and that Legion lady could have been rehabilitated and deprogrammed of harmful Legion ideas? Sure. But are Lucy and the ghoul equipped to provide that rehabilitation? Absolutely not. Norm didn't even have to leave the vault to figure that one out. And if their partnership has any hope of evolving into a sophisticated, resourced community with the capacity to support people like this, it has to start between the two of them. Both of them. The ghoul may have never claimed to be anything but an asshole, but that doesn't give him carte blanche to be an asshole with zero consequences for being an asshole. Lucy has no right to demand that he be nice, but as the adult, he has the option of exercising forethought to choose gentleness and sensitivity in the event that it is likely to yield a more desirable result. He has every right not to, but you know what? Just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. All of this is why I have no doubt that the ghoul is gonna pull a Han Solo and rescue Lucy from the Legion. When he was a total asshole to her, she dropped that serum anyway, and now that she was a total asshole to him, he's gonna be there for her now. I mentioned in the last video that I was mad as hell at Lucy, but that I still loved her. And I'm betting that the ghoul feels the same way. And when you love somebody, and they fuck up and they hurt you, you don't fight them, you don't punish them, you don't abandon them, you do the work to make it right. In the real modern world, one of the reasons why everybody's so miserable and lonely is because nobody's learned how to repair after rupture. If we're talking about chronic abuse, chronic mistreatment, that is different. Then get the hell out of Dodge. But we gotta raise our tolerance for singular mistakes, ours and others, because we're never gonna foster communities full of connection and trust without realistic expectations for imperfect humans. So here's hoping that that's what Fallout Season 2 is on track to show us. Because war never changes, but love changes everything.
If you have to go out, take a gun and a lamp, 'cause everybody knows there's a devil in camp. Ow!